I have a question for all of those who are advocating for AI and automation. If you use AI and automation to replace all of the employees, who is going to have the money to buy your stuff? Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spellbound, A Darker Shade of Black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller. I have a critical question for all of those individuals who believe AI and automation can replace workers. If you replace all of your workers with AI in business and replace all of your workers in industries like retail with automation, then who is going to have the money to go out here and buy your products? And the reason why I ask that critical question is because many who go out here and talk about AI and automation are not really thinking critically about the impact of replacing people in these jobs. Now, in order for an economic system to work, it has to have a functional way to allocate resources. And when you have people talking about replacing workers with AI and automation, they're not really seeing the economic impact on a country's way to allocate resources. Because if there are no people working, there are no people making money. And if there are no people making money, then there's nobody who has the money to go out here and have money to go out here and purchase products or services. And in addition, if there are no people working to go out here and make money, then there are no people out here who are paying taxes. And if there are no people paying any taxes, then there is no way for municipalities to provide services to people such as sanitation, such as sewage, such as law enforcement, or services like just going out here and being able to take care of things like roads and parks. And these are the things that fly over the heads of the ideologues who want to talk about AI and automation replacing people on the job. Because those who talk about AI and automation replacing people do not see a value to the people who go out here and put in work every day to go out here and be able to maintain the society that we live in. Yes, your AI and your automation are interesting technologies, but they should not be considered for trying to replace people, because people are an essential part of maintaining a civilization and establishing and maintaining the standards of a society. Yes, many business owners would save a lot of money by going out here and being able to replace workers with AI, and they would save money in retail as related to not hiring staff with automation. However, if people don't make money at those jobs that they're working to go out here and be able to have the money to pay for services, and they don't have money to pay their taxes, then most of these companies will go broke, and most municipalities will go broke, because those businesses won't have anybody going out here to buy said products, nor will they have anybody paying taxes to go out here and being able to maintain services for a municipality. Now, I've heard some people come out here and with the theory, oh, we can go out here and give people universal basic income that is based on a central bank digital currency, and that whole theory just falls completely apart. Because again, in order for you to have a universal basic income on a central bank digital currency, you need to have working people going out here and paying taxes. That is how an economic system works. If you want to have municipal services on any sort of currency, you need individuals to go out here and pay taxes in order for the government to have the revenue to pay for a universal basic income for every individual, and you would also need people to pay taxes in order to ensure that this central bank digital currency has any sort of value. So in order for these whole ideas to even be functional, you would need individuals going out here paying taxes. And if there are no people working because you've automated all the jobs or use AI to replace workers, then there's nobody going out here paying any sort of taxes. Nobody has any sort of money, virtual or physical. So that whole theory basically falls completely apart because, again, in any economy, you need to have workers in order for them to work for wages, and they have to work for wages as related to exchanging their labor for a price. You just cannot go out here and say, oh, I'm going to give somebody a universal basic income if there's no revenue stream to go out here and fund that base. There's no base to fund a universal basic income. If you've replaced all the workers, with AI and automation, then who again is going to have the money to buy your stuff? And that again is why this whole theory of AI and automation falls completely apart, because again, economies are based on human interaction with other humans, and it's based on humans allocating resources to other humans. That's what economies are all about. Economies are about people, and if you don't understand that if you don't have people to have money, then something's wrong with you. Because again, if nobody has any money, nobody can buy a ticket to a movie with AI stars. If nobody has any money, nobody can buy a self-driving AI car. If nobody has any money, you can't sell products to robots. You can't sell products to AI. AI doesn't make any money, so how can you sell AI products? Moreover, how can you sell an artificially intelligent or automated system to people if there's no way for people to have an incentive to invest in it? That's another critical question I have to ask all those ideologues who come up with this idea. I mean, how do you go out here and promote automation to people when automation has its own series of technical flaws? Because in certain jobs, yes, a robot can do something quicker, but robots are not programmed to be instinctive. They can't pick up on quality control issues. For example, in a fast food restaurant, they cannot instinctively look at a piece of food and see that it's rotten or if it's damaged. No, the robot only does what it's programmed to do. Moreover, a AI can only base things on what is aggregated from life experience. So while people only think in the short term about the money that they're saving by replacing people, they don't see the long-term damage that they're going to do to themselves by going out here and talking about, oh, I'm replacing people, when good people are irreplaceable and are invaluable. And they're invaluable because a man and a woman can go out here and do work more effectively than a computer alone. A computer can only do what it's programmed to, and it's not really programmed to understand that, again, you need people in order for it to function. And again, in order for an economy to work, you need people going out here and working, and you need people working because without people working, they have no real purpose. And that is the whole fundamental flaw of automating a society. People lose their purpose, and I saw people lose purpose when I was growing up in the South Bronx in the 1980s, growing up on welfare in Section 8, and I can tell you a lot of people lost their purpose. And what you get when you have people living on things like universal basic income based on central bank digital currency is you're going to have a bunch of people just sitting in ghettos with no purpose, no incentive to do better, no incentive to try harder, and all they're going to do is start eating each other as they're having beefs and arguments doing things like joining gangs and having no real semblance of direction, no real semblance of purpose, no real semblance of goals. And that's the kind of society that many of these ideologues don't see coming, with their grand plans to go out here and eliminate jobs and have the AI and the automation do the work for people. When God made men to go out here and work, his whole purpose as man is to go do labors for the Lord, and his whole work and purpose on earth is to serve the Lord by doing work. That is what man is made for. And with AI and automation, you take man out of his purpose, which is an abomination. And it's an abomination because you're taking a man out of his purpose. You're taking him out of his goals. You're taking him away from the Most High and what he wanted him to do. And that's what many of the automation types and AI types don't understand. Men without purpose become idle minds. Idle minds become the devil's workshop, and the devil's workshop is a place where people go out here to look to destroy all that's around them as they kill and steal. Because when you have men with no purpose and no direction, because everything is done for them, they don't know how to do for self. And again, that really messes up men. But you can't explain this to those who want to promote AI and automation. AI and automation, yes, they do. They seem like a good idea until you realize that, again, if you don't have men working and women working, then there's nobody there that has an incentive to go buy your stuff, because they have an idle mind. And instead of them thinking to go out here and take their digital money to go buy something, they go looking to wreak havoc. And again, don't see where you're going, because you don't see the dark road you're on, because you're in a rose-colored reality, believing in ideals, not understanding the real, that man is evil. And this is something proclaimed by the Messiah himself. And again, the ideal isn't real. And again, automation, they think it's a good idea, but again, if there's nobody working, there's nobody with a purpose to have a motivation to go buy your stuff, and there's nobody there with a motivation to buy into your society and try to live to the standards of your society, because they have basically been demoralized, because they have no reason to care. And again, examples of this were shown to me living in the South Bronx, seeing people on welfare having money given to them in the predecessor to UBI, which was welfare. And with that predecessor, people had less reason to care. They had less reason to go out here and believe their lives mattered. They had no real motivation. And again, yes, your machines are doing things, but if people don't go out here and learn how to do for self, they have no sense of purpose. And if they have no sense of purpose and no sense of direction, then you have a society, while it's technologically advanced, that's basically on a road to basically going nowhere. And that is what flies over the heads of those ideologues who believe in AI and automation. Yes, they will save a little money in the short term, but they will lose a society in the long term, because what you're going to create are a bunch of people, again, without purpose. And people without purpose, yes, you may give them some money, but you cannot give them passion. You cannot give them a love or a joy for life. And again, if you give somebody everything, they don't appreciate anything. And that's what I saw growing up in the South Bronx. I saw people with no passion or care. And yes, a couple of rich guys at the top, maybe they'll save a couple of bucks, but they'll wind up losing a society, because you lose a society because while you're in your home with a bunch of money, all you're doing is counting down the days until you have to deal with those people without purpose, because people without anything invested in a society, because they haven't worked or built anything, have no reason to care about anything. And people who have not been invested in, they become like what I see with many of the migrants in Europe. They're not interested in your culture or preserving or protecting your culture. No, they're just looking to take whatever they want. And again, that's what would happen to a world that filled with the ideal of AI and automation. It would be a world where people would lose their purpose, lose their passion, and it would not be a place that would be a utopia. It would be a dark dystopia that would turn into an apocalypse, because again, people who aren't invested in a society through their labors, then they have no interest in protecting or preserving that society. Those people who are not invested in anything have no interest in caring for it, and this is where many of these individuals don't see the stark reality about the artificial world that they're trying to create as related to reinventing the world and making it into their rose-colored reality. Now, if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to try out some of my publications on SJS Direct, you can find those books on Amazon.com and other online booksellers. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Coming to paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, 1987. Learn lessons about life and teenage love in the 1980s with this coming-of-age John Haynes story. Pre-order your copy of John Haynes, 1987 at online booksellers everywhere. Now available for free on Google Play and Smashwords. The Retreat by Lawrence Cherry. If you want to advance in your faith in God, sometimes you have to retreat. Get The Retreat for free on Smashwords and Google Play today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, Godbreaker. The man who rules the world takes on the Asgardian god of thunder in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes, Godbreaker in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere.